Oh, man. It's been a long while. Well, not really. It's been, what, a week? A week? I didn't have a topic this week. But this is episode 11, and today's topic is going to be about how video games have kind of become shit. And the current stage, their current platform, and the way they're sitting is above and beyond the dumbest fucking thing that I have ever seen, ever. Right now, I'm pulling up YouTube Studio because I don't have the fucking link to it yet. Here we go. Copy URL. And like all my bullshit podcasts, the current state of gaming, episode 11. All of them are open mic. Anyone is free to join. You join my Discord server, and basically say whatever you want. So, let's get started, right? Let me talk about. I got 5 points to talk about tonight, and each one's going to be about, I'd say, 12 minutes at most. A game like Breath of the Wild. I'm going to need a drink for this one. Oh man, I gotta tell you, sometimes it just needs some Baja Blast, like a regular meme lord. Sometimes. Sorry. Breath of the Wild. I consider it not a real Zelda game. It's like this open world Skyrim-esque game, and I'm not shitting on Skyrim. I think Skyrim's fucking amazing. I think Oblivion's amazing. I think the ESO is amazing. I think all them games are amazing. But that's not fucking Zelda. Yeah, at that point, I look at Skyrim like this. I look at Zelda Breath of the Wild like Skyrim with Link modded in as the main character. That's how I view that game. It's kind of bad once you start to really break it down and you look at the formula of how a game like that runs. Like, you look at the graphics. And yeah, you could sit here and try to explain to me, oh, well, the 3D version, and, there's mods to make it look better. And you could get a 4K, multi-$1,000, 3000 RTX fucking video card and play it in God tier 4K. I'm sitting there, I'm just looking, I'm like, look. The game's got fucking graphics of Wind Waker. It should have been on GameCube. Okay? Like, you think, realistically, think about it. Look at Wind Waker, and then look at Breath of the Wild. It should have been on fucking GameCube. GameCube, to make it not as laggy, decided, okay, instead of doing this big open world, we're going to make most of the majority of the area all oceans and put it on a grid. That was a good game. But if you just removed the ocean, you basically would have had Breath of the Wild. I shit you not. You probably would have had Breath of the Wild. Beyond all that crap, it's the same fucking game. And, what was it? Wind Waker's how old? It's almost a decade, if not more. I don't know how old it is right now, but I haven't touched my GameCube in a long time, so it's got to be at least a dozen years old. But, you think about that. I mean, how can anyone sit there and defend remakes of these Zelda games? Let's talk about the remakes of some of these Zelda games, okay? I fucking hate the Zelda 3DS remake. People are going to look at me like, you're fucking crazy, blah, blah, blah. Sure, it's graphically better. The damage rates are different from the base game. The fucking creepy Goron Fire Temple chanting's gone. Most of the exploits are different. The same thing with Majora's Mask 3DS. That game was fucking terribly easy and stupidly easy. Georg, they changed the Georg fight. Georg in fucking Majora's Mask Vanilla N64, I would still say to this moment, is the hardest fucking boss I've ever done. A no-hit on Georg is hard as shit. It is not easy. You could sit there on stream taking 50 attempts at Georg and you will still not get it down, and every time you die, you have to mosey your way on the fuck back. Not taking the shortcut to go to the boss, mind you. You're playing vanilla on a separate run, going through the whole game. You're going straight to Georg every time, doing every stupid little puzzle and going through the water and then ice arrowing your way up. It's a nightmare. It really fucking is. I've looped that pattern. Going to Georg so many times just to practice Georg during the goddamn run. So there's times where that game's hard, but then 3DS comes along. Oh, we're gonna get rid of the middle platform and put down mines, so you could just lure Georg into the mines to instantly die. Really? Really? Again, I'm not shitting on these games for, their graphics. Their graphics are nice. I prefer if there was an option to switch to the old ones, but still be able to play on a handheld. That wouldn't be too bad. N64 handheld has been, a private use thing made by some random modders out there using a Raspberry Pi and a 72-pin connector, but I don't think it's a 72-pin connector, but whatever N64 takes. I think it's 42 or something. But a game, a Zelda game, the whole series is like, ever since Twilight Princess, which I think was released in, I'm gonna say, even around the time of the Wii, early 2000s, I don't know. Even that Twilight Princess had the best graphics for a Zelda game. How about this, alright? Try to battle me in this kind of wits. Right? Realistically, just sit here if you're a Zelda fan or whatever. I have a concept for 3 games. Zelda 1, 2, and Link to the Past. You take those 3 games, make them 3D, and you give them Twilight Princess graphics. Tell me they wouldn't be the best fucking Zelda games of all time. Just try to convince me that the Breath of the Wild formula looks nice. Compared to them. How fucking awesome that would be. That would be fucking amazing. I wouldn't care. The graphical capabilities that we are going backward for comparison to what we're actually paying for as consumers is ridiculous. Like, for example, when PS4 came out, and I was at the time working part-time at like 3 different jobs. One of them was Walmart, and I only worked there for Black Friday to get the sales price. And as an associate, I was allowed to, at that store in particular, I was allowed to get 5 extra copies of anything I wanted ahead of line. So essentially, I was able to buy 8 fucking PS4s. I didn't. I ended up only buying 3. Not money limits, but like only because all I had to do to get 1 for free was sell the other 2 and make the profit back double. And then boom, the third one's free. And that's what I ended up doing. And then all my friends were like, "Oh, get PlayStation 4 and buy Monster Party and play with us for 1 day." And fuck off with you. It's a fucking goddamn VCR player. PS4, no games. PS3, no games. PS2, some games. PS1, all the games. That's how I've always viewed the formula. I mean, I'm not saying that PS4 doesn't have any good games. PS Now, I tried PS Now for the first time a year and a half ago. It's the subscription-based thing where you pay so much a month. And I picked that up and I started playing Fallout 3. And I noticed there's a button on the front page for downloads. I'm like thinking, oh, okay, you can get the DLC later. No! There's no DLC for the Fallout 3 PS Now. No DLC. You can't download DLC, so if you made a save on PS Now, you cannot do the other content. You can't play the full game. You can play the vanilla game, the full vanilla that was released, but not with all the DLC. You can never install it. Because it just won't read. Is that bullshit? I think that's bullshit. People want to sit here and convince me that every new console that comes out is good, it's got this best game, but it only has 1 title. And you look at PS5, and right now it's retailing for $499. $499. What? What? Realistically, you want to try to convince me that a game like that, or a console like that, is worth $1,000 when its releases right now are these cartoon cell shade looking games? Nothing. And before you say, "Oh, well, you sound like a Dark Souls edgy-esque type of kid," we're in 2020, and our graphic capabilities, we're able to do fucking VR. Okay, stop and think about that. We're able to do VR. There are people that are playing. A friend of mine, Rudy Chavez, Game Sensei, he's been streaming Metal of Steel 5, That's somewhat of an old game on PS4. And it looks gritty. It looks nice. It's kind of like a stealth game. Kind of, I think it takes after Metal Gear. I don't know. But, you look at a game like that, and you compare it to any of the other games out there. Does it look better than Fortnite? I think it looks better than Fortnite. I can say that right now for a fact. That's somehow fucking mind-numbingly popular to the young autistic audience and 12-year-olds and up. But then again, that game was used for pedophilia too. We had like 30, 40-year-olds luring kids out of their house for candy and whatever, and getting them to cough up their phone information and their house address and all that stuff. It was terrible. I never forgot about that fucking that NBC 10 or I think it was Channel 6 report about the pedophiles that they caught in the state of New Jersey that were using Fortnite to lure kids. I thought it was fucking gross. In fact, you got to use video games for, you know, that kind of illegal shit's just terrible. But at the same time, it's kind of a good thing. Unfortunately, not saying that the whole pedophilia thing is a good thing. I'm saying it's a good thing that happened in that game, because that game should be shut the fuck down. I think Fortnite's the most mind-numbing thing on the goddamn planet, second to fucking Overwatch being forced esport. You know, like, Overwatch is not an esport. Not in 100 years could you convince me that some little kid's action fighter that... Okay, imagine basically Smash, the current Smash. And you have a team of 5 versus a team of 5, but, you know, you can't pick the same character, but it's got to be competitive. No, that's a shitty person. Think of TF2, but there's multiple heavies. And you can change any time during the match. And these heavies have different weapons and abilities. And some of them are more OP than the other. And you can change at any point. You don't even have to be a heavy. You can be any class you want, with multiple different kind of classifications and skills. So you're telling me it's an RNG esport? Because at that point, you're just reading your opponent to switch to whatever character they're going to switch to, and then have a strong counter for it. There's no sit down like CSGO, where everyone just buys their weapon and get good. And they have the same amount of health or whatever, they buy their armor. You know, you don't buy these upgrades on Overwatch, you just have them automatically. Like, you automatically obtain an ult, your ultimate. You automatically obtain, you know, your weapons. Your weapons actually don't... It's actually funny. You have infinite ammo. On just about every single fucking class, you have infinite ammo. Originally, there was an ammo count for the game. Doesn't use it anymore. I don't know why. That's a missed competitive opportunity. They should really nerf the shit out of that game to throw its community away. Because the moment they start doing that for the competitive sake, they lose their esport, and they know that. That's not a game. That's just a shit show action fighter. Compare that to a real FPS, which is what Overwatch tried to be and couldn't. That's what that is. You know, I would see WoW as more of a fucking esport than Overwatch, technically, if you want to get technical. Overwatch is that kind of game that should be in a fucking arcade cabinet at an arcade, played by like maybe 3 people a day. That's my take. And it didn't even need online. I'll be clear, it didn't need online. The toxicity online's more hilarious than ever. So, there's that. Let me talk about Among Us and Fall Guys, which are like graphically like Newgrounds' Castle Crashers. You know, a 12-year-old fucking video game. And how in the fuck are they popular now? You know, like, I'm looking at these two games. Fall Guys has pretty much lost its following the moment Among Us came out. And everyone's telling me, oh, go buy Among Us, go buy Among Us, go buy Among Us. I'm looking at the game. I looked at one picture upon Googling it, and it just looks like fucking Castle Crashers. The graphics. It's like comparing Teen Titans to Teen Titans Go, and you know which one of those two look better. I don't understand how, you know, creators have thought, okay, let's make everything cutesy and everything in mainstream art and video games, anime, TV shows, you fucking name it. It needs to be artsy-fartsy. I feel like that's just a fad that's gonna die, and anyone who continues it is screwed. Because why? Yeah, it's cheap to make it like that, but you lose the quality. You look at shows like Teen Titan Go. I think, referencing that show, I 100% believe that even the writers of Teen Titan Go looked at the art that they had to work with and said, we're just going to turn this into a joke comedy show. And it's going to be a parody. Not an actual mainstream thing. I'm like, I'm going to have to agree. That would be the best way. It's like Sonic Boom. The Sonic Boom TV show. Not like the Sonic Boom theme song you hear on Sonic CD with that anime style. Something that was remembered, or like the, what the fuck was it called? The Sonic animated movie with Metal Robotnik. Metal Robotnik, Metal Sonic, and all that shit. And what the hell was that princess's name? I can't remember. I can't remember what her name was. I really can't. But, looking at Among Us. Let's just talk about Among Us for a second. I'm not going to talk about Fall Guys. I bought Among Us. I played it with friends. It was a fun game. Here's the problem. It's basically Town of Salem, but you're actively running around. And graphically, it's shit. It's basically Town of Salem graphics. We're in 2020. Like, I'm not saying, okay, let's get some real hardcore 3D detail, which it should have. But, like, I get that maybe the cartoon style for that game is kind of hilarious, and it's why Town of Salem's popular, but I feel like for an overhead game like that, they should have a 3D top-down graphical approach of Fall Guys with the hilariousness attached to it. And it be well shaded. Kind of, I would say almost like Breath of the Wild overhead or something like that, but a little more darker. And it would work for 2020. Unfortunately, every developer out there thinks that, maybe they were limited on what they could produce for that, but every developer thinks that as soon as they have that one particular thing, or that quote, bare minimum, that's good enough. Do mind you, my camera is fucking up for this stream. It's been fucking up for the last few days, so I do apologize for all the bits of static you see here. I don't know why. Oh well. Okay, so I got that out of the way. And I'm trying to wrap this up within under an hour because unfortunately I have work at 4 in the morning. Normally I would have one, of a script ready or something like that, and I'd be ready to do more and say more. But if somebody comes in, halfway through my explanation, maybe I can talk a little bit more and go from there. But I think Among Us is a nice game. It's Town of Salem, but, move around. Essentially, that's what the game is. And then you have speedrunners and gamers turning to drama content rather than positive gaming content and uploading videos of gaming, not just bullshit. And then you have Twitch banning people like Alpha Gamer, WQ, RT, and he's getting banned just for quoting other things going on in the speedrunning world and speedrunning community. Why though? You got everyone in speedrun.com. You got everyone on Twin Galaxies. And you look at the moderators and the shit that they pass. You look at the shit that Twin Galaxies' community as a whole, not really necessarily a whole, but some select few, have to offer. And what they're really there to offer nowadays, after many years of being bitter, they've just turned to like full-on fucking hatred and accusations of almost fucking nothing for no reason at all. You gotta remember too, Twin Galaxies was the very first in history video game scoreboard. So why is that not referenced anywhere? Or used often in gaming? You really... That's bothered me for so many years. Why has no one bought both Twin Galaxies and Speedrun.com and then made a combined site with it? Just put the two together, fuck both sites, remove them all together, and make one solid site, specifically for gaming and esports, and old school gaming, all packed into one. And no one's done it. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying that Jace Hall should buy fucking speedrun.com, because I think that'd be a shitty idea. I think someone else should own both of them after this fucking Billy Mitchell lawsuit, and after, I think there's more accusations of pedophilia and some mods getting demodded on speedrun. But both communities are relatively shit. Unfortunately, it's because of the people that are in there. The right people aren't getting banned, and the people that are horrible are mods. And you look at that, well, unfortunately they have power over everyone else. They can select their own things. I was being told in my Discord by Ninglendo that somebody's run was protected by a moderator. The moderator had the top quality run, and a regular gamer came in and tried to make a score, and he said, oh, this was the reason why the score is possible. Well, this is the reason the score didn't go through on their board. The moderator denied it and said, hey, so, this score is impossible. You can't beat my score. No proof. Just completely deleted their submission. Didn't even go on the board. And it beat that guy's score. So when you got mods like that are in political power, so to speak, with the speedrun web developer or the crew itself, and they're circle jerking one another just to get around, you look at a community like that, there's no hope for them. You know, the current state of gaming, the history behind it, and our graphical capability and the kind of shit that the developers of video games are producing right now are absolutely abysmal compared to what the fuck they could be doing. Be realistic, they're pretty shit. You have, this one blew my mind, Humble Bundle, which very common thing everyone's heard about, Epic Games Store, and now Discord basically essentially giving away free Xbox PC Live Pass, which I didn't even know about a fucking PC Live Pass. I remember Xbox Live. I got an Xbox Live card that I could use in the other fucking room still. It's fucking 2020. I could reactivate that shit from 10 years ago. I look at that and, you know, we why are we getting free games? Now, mind you, on this Xbox Pass that I got from Discord for being a Nitro Booster, they gave me Halo 5 for free. And I've never bought Halo 5. I skipped it. So I didn't play it a year ago, and now I'm getting it for free. So essentially what was on retail a $60, $70 game, I don't know how much it was, but I'm now getting it for free? For free. I'm just going to get the game for free. You know, I get that there's free trial. You know, try it for, you know, unrestricted. Everyone can play the game for a few days. And then you have games like, CSGO, which were originally you had to buy it with a Steam account to be able to play online. And that account, that your Steam account would be locked to a CSGO account, and that's how you would play the game. But now, since it's free to play, you can just make a new Steam account, go in, and play it as much as you fucking want. Unrestricted. The game's free. And then the skin market crashed, and everyone complained about it, and that was hilarious, too. That's another thing, too. The skin market on CSGO is a joke. You have video games with these microtransaction stores that are fucking ridiculous. I know that in a game like TF2, hats are expensive as shit, and I remember this hat, or a thing, it was called like the gold frying pan. It was thousands of dollars or something. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Why is a fucking gold pan thousands of dollars? Like, the fuck? It doesn't... I don't understand how companies would profit. Like, I get that they're advertising the game, and if they like it enough at the end of their trial, they'll go out and buy it, but you're making the game free. Someone is going to take that code of you giving the game for them for free and figure out a way to abuse it, number one. Number two, they'll probably just end up pirating at that point. It's not only promoting wanting more, you're going to also promote pirating at the same time. Someone is going to steal the game. I mean, when fucking Pokemon Crystal came out, I can't tell you how many people were wanting to pirate that. I mean, there's countless games that as soon as they were released, people were trying to pirate out the ass. The Spyro series 1, 2, and 3 is just to name one, and they had a lot of copyright blocks, you know. Funny enough, I actually owned all 3 games, and I had a demo that said, hey, so you can't leave the first zone of Spyro 1 because this is a demo, and you try again come September so-and-so. I'm like, what the fuck? So I couldn't actually complete that game, even though on the demo file, half the game was done. Half the game was already developed. The only thing that wasn't developed was the HUD for Nasty Nork's final HUD world. That was it. The whole game was completed. Isn't that funny? And it was blocked at that one area. There's issues with, you know, I feel like 2021 could announce and finally step up and get out of the way and do it appropriately. I feel like a game like Ocarina of Time done, instead of doing a 3D remake and a rehash like all these fucking games that are out there, do Zelda URA. Zelda Ura. The original disk drive expansion that was originally Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask thrown in one game before being separated. Remake that fucking game. Get the original development team, as much of them as you can, from Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, sit them in a well-ventilated room, some nice AC, and about 50 computers, and let them go to town for a year. And rebuild the whole game. Basically do what was it? Zeth64 did. Which originally he kind of conned everyone to, with the hopes of the Project Ura being a thing, a fan-made project to get another venture of Zelda to reappear and be produced for everyone to play. And he was offered to come out. That guy is also kind of a dick. He was offered to go out to events, and people were paying his way and giving him money and this, that, everything. He received donations, and he just fucked off the project without a word. And he let everyone down, and everyone was pissed at him. And that's like one of the biggest fan failures of the Zelda community, believe it or not. But when it comes to that, though, I understand that it's hard to build a video game from scratch. I really do. I know a couple people that are game devs, and one of them being my own team member, Adam Plymouth. He's a game developer. He's developing his own video game with its cyberpunk theme, and unfortunately, there's a new cyberpunk game coming out that I think it's Cyberpunk 27 or something, or 77. I don't know what the fuck it's called, or 2077, I think. And you look at a game like that, the game looks nice. It looks like it's for this year in time, that we should be getting it. But unfortunately, again, we're stuck in this fucking stone age of gaming to where we need to not even have something mind-numbing, but not even like visually attractive. Like, I'll say this, okay? Sonic 06 was graphically better than any Zelda game that I've played in the last several years since Twilight Princess. Factually. That's what I think. I think shitty Sonic 06 and all of its highly graphical bullshit, ignoring its crap gameplay, ignoring the crap gameplay, you take the actual graphical working of Sonic 06 and its music and the actual overall theme and setting and the environment, you try to compare that to any other fucking Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, Spirit Tracks, the fucking, I don't know what the hell that game was called, the Hyrule Melody beat thing on a grid to where you jump with music or something. I don't know what the hell that one's called, but you look at those games and you compare it to fucking Sonic 06. Sonic 06 from fucking 14 years ago looks better. How does a game from 14 years ago look better than something that just came out? That baffles me. And they're working on Breath of the Wild 2? Why? Just work on Twilight Princess 2 or something else. What I want, more than anything, is Zelda 1 redone in 3D and then have a randomizer community work on it. Could you imagine someone remaking all of Zelda 1 in Ocarina of Time's engine, or even Breath of the Wild's engine, or Twilight Princess's engine? The same fucking engine. Or a better engine with the same, themes and resources. And then you stick it all together and you make a solid story out of it. You give Zelda 1 an actual fucking story to follow, and there you go. Now, mind you, Zelda 1 didn't really have a story. Zelda 1's story was just that one big opening thing that says, oh, you must collect all 8 pieces of the Triforce and save the princess from Ganon. Alright. Where's the rest of the lore? You know, like, I'd like to see a 3D game like that where shopkeepers are telling Link, hey, so we heard about something going on in this area up here, and, you know, giving hints and shit like that. I would fucking adore whatever game they produced if they did something like that. You know, that's... And it doesn't have to be an overhead. I prefer it would... I prefer that it was not an overhead game. And that was a big open world 3D thing that was an exact replica of the overhead map with slight altercations and a little bit more added to it. Expanded upon, so to speak. With like maybe an additional island off to the side or something. You know, there's so many possibilities with an overhead game like that. To convert to 3D. And instead of making new games, we're rehashing old ones and fucking them up. Yeah, maybe you're improving the graphics, but why not do that on the actual previous hardware? I mean, I don't know if it would be that expensive. Maybe it's harder to do, so it's better to do it on better hardware, but still, at that point, don't fuck with the physical aspects of how the game runs. You know, a Deku Stick and a Jump Slash in 3DS Ocarina of Time should be the same Jump Slash in fucking regular Ocarina N64. It shouldn't be fucking different and nerfed to shit. That's my primary complaint right there, is that one fucking thing with the 3DS. If it didn't have that, I wouldn't have cared. I would have played the game normally. But all the damage rates in the game are different. So it's not the same game. It's not a remake. You say, oh, it's a 3DS remake. It's not a remake. It's Ocarina of Time polished, but altered. That's not a remake of the original game. It just ain't. If you're doing a remake, it has to have all the original fucking exploits and bugs. Now, the only one exploit, one type that I would say it shouldn't have is if there is one that is game-breaking. And when I say game-breaking, I mean, like, you get soft-locked into a room and you can't progress after going in several hours into the game. Something like, I think it was Turok on N64, one of the Turok games, had a claim issue a new copy of Turok if you soft-lock your game and saved at a certain point. Shit like that, I understand, remove the bug. That's the only time that I would say that. But any other exploit, you know, like ISG, Hess, Bomb Tube Hover, Wrong Warp, Schrodinger's Chain, the Master Sword Skip, Clipping Past Mido, the Barrier Skip, what else am I missing? Anything that wouldn't be capable of crashing the game should be in the game for a remake. Yeah, that's just my take. You know, it shouldn't come down to that in fucking remakes for these games. But again, everything has this cartoony style. And it's 2020. We're capable of some pretty high quality fucking graphics. You got a game like Final Fantasy XIV that is old as dog shit, which, here, I'll even pull up how old it is. Final FF14 release. And I'm talking about its original release date, not its reborn release. 2010. You have a game 10 years ago that looks better than anything fucking produced thus far. And, you know, I've given Final Fantasy, its developers, a huge amount of shit for their policies, but ignoring that, the game looks fucking beautiful for a 10-year-old game. RuneScape 3 looks graphically amazing. Compared to where it came and rose up from when it was still RuneScape 2, and you started out in the fucking tutorial island with plaid fucking color tile sets and shit's broken. That's a huge step up. I got a graphical glitch on this fucking webcam, but that's whatever. But you can't go from making something like Teen Titan to Teen Titan Go and then thinking that you're going to work something out. You don't go from Twilight Princess to Wind Waker to Breath of the Wild and then wanting to make a sequel to that garbage. That hot garbage. No, you go from, at that point, it's like saying Sonic 06, stop, and then let's, hey, guess what? Asshole down you, Make Sonic Adventure 3. That's what I wanted back then. I wanted Sonic Adventure 3. When I was in fucking high school, I was waiting for that shit. I was like, where's fucking Sonic Adventure 3? And then, I think it was freshman year, I heard about a Sonic game that was coming out. And I vividly remember hearing that Sonic 06 was supposed to be Sonic Adventure 3. Well, it was just called Sonic the Hedgehog. And then I picked it up, I bought it, and it sucked. And then, lo and behold, there was the lure for the next, 14 years of my life. But yeah. I'm going to end my podcast early. No one has joined me. Not that I'm not happy about that. But at the same time, I have things I have to take care of. And I have to have work at 4 in the morning. Again, like I said, my camera is fucking up. I did change thumbnails. Some of the thumbnails for the videos for the Such Bullshit Podcast. I didn't finish editing the icon or the logo, but I'm going to be redoing them. I only did them real quick today. I only spent like maybe 30 minutes on them. I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I was very limited on time this weekend because events had happened for me, personally. Let me just put it this way. I got a friend back that I've known for nearly a decade and a half, so basically half my lifetime. And I've considered the guy my brother. Like, I'd move in with him. And he's talking to me again after a whole year of basically, not wanting to talk. So, I've been having a kick-ass fucking year thus far. And I'm going to keep it going. So, again, this is the Such Bullshit Podcast, episode 11, where I'm talking about the current state of gaming, its communities, the networking, the websites, the games themselves, and every fuck up in between. We need to get graphically back to where we were. Not going down the shitter and making crap games. We're not going to become LJN 2020, are we? Let's not do that. All right? Let's be good game developers, and instead of rehashing Mario All-Stars with the fucking Sunshine, Super Mario 64, and, the new 3D World. Fucking make a new game. For fuck's sakes. It's 2020. Nintendo, when's the last time you've made a game? Sony, any of the developers, what the fuck is it? Mad Dog. I remember a few. Zoniac Games, fucking EA. Make a fucking game. Just make a game that's good. Graphically good, not garbage. Someone join me? I don't know if someone... No. I thought someone did for a second there, but you know what? That is going to be the end of my Such Bullshit Podcast, episode 13. It's very short. I usually try to keep these under an hour, but this is my shortest episode yet. The camera is fucking up. I didn't plan out the most of this. It's not so much as drama. It's more or less complaints and bullshit about gaming. And you stop to think about it. It's like I'm not targeting anything besides the shitty game developers that have basically given up on making good quality video games for sale in a generation of 2020, where we're supposed to be in VR, and Steam and Valve have been working on VR games in the background for the last few years in experimentation. And everyone's been saying, oh, we're probably going to get Portal 3 finally. We're going to get Half-Life 3, and it's going to be all in VR. And great. Let's fucking see it, please. I'm tired of this garbage that we're getting. I want a good fucking game with a good following. I don't want Fortnite or trash like that. I want to play an actual fucking game. Not something mind-numbing that I could fucking play on my phone. There's people that have taken up playing mobile games. Fucking mobile games. Farmville. Farmville is a fucking e-sport. Farmville is a fucking e-sport. How? How did we get to that point? No, I can't. Shalom. Oh my god. I was gonna say Kiflam, brother, the thing from GTA 5, but that's just fucking maddening that you got people that are taking up games like Dofus. I know the server that I'm in right now, Velvet Room, Zybax, one of the creator in the server, he's a good friend of mine, he fucking loves this game called Dofus, and he plays the mobile version. And I look at the game, and it plays like Fire Emblem, but it's on your fucking phone. I think mobile games are like the biggest epitome of garbage. When people call themselves gamers for playing Candy Crush Saga, you make me want to hang myself after reading that. I just turned off my headphones. I want to hang myself after that. I really do. Like, people that think that fucking mobile games makes them good by playing that, you got these fucking 40, 50-year-old people that are finally using phones. I don't know how to use the internet, but I'm learning how to play this video game. Ah! That's basically my mother. I'm not gonna lie. Playing Candy Crush. And I sit there and she's like, I'm good at video games, aren't I? Unlike you. I'm like, better stop and get on my fucking level real quick. And then just like pulls out, just like pulls the shirt open like the fucking one thing, like, what are you buying? What are you selling? And just all these video games come out of nowhere from my jacket, and just I got a pile of them all the way down under my belt. Like, I didn't play all these games for thousands of hours, hundreds of hours, and I didn't get good at them on my own. I did it on my own time. And then you have these people that think that they're top tier fucking gamers. There are people that speedrun fucking Cookie Clicker. Cookie fucking Clicker. Okay? It's fucking Cookie Clicker. The garbage game where you just click at the fast point or macro it. Why? Just... And I think there's a mobile version of it. The sad part is when some channels take offers to promote mobile games and they know they aren't good, but they say that they are anyways. I know plenty of channels that do that. You gotta make money. But I wouldn't promote a mobile game. Even if I got paid a lot or well, I wouldn't promote their fucking game. Not on this channel, not in this fucking lifetime. I'd look at them like, look, take your shitty game elsewhere. Unless I actually liked the game and I said it was good, and I enjoyed it and I meant it, I'll fucking advertise it. And I'll take the promotion. But I'm not going to promote that garbage. I wouldn't promote garbage on my channel and lie to my fucking community and face just for a couple dollars. Like fucking, I don't know, Linus Tech Tips. Or, you know, the many other fucking gamers I see out there. Like, I don't know, Yuri of Wind, I believe, for a while was advertising video games. And I liked the guy for his Pokemon content. But then that, you know, he stopped doing that. The guy who's colorblind, if you remember. I don't know if he's still around on YouTube. Missing No Expert for, at some point, I believe. I watched his Glitch Adventure series, which I was very interested in because it actually shows you some of the broken code of the game itself and how to break it all together. But, you know, the state of gaming, I'll say it again, is beyond piss fucking poor. And then you got people doing reproductions. And here's what really blows my fucking mind away. Look this up right now when you get a chance, since I'm about to end this podcast a little bit early. Go on Google, okay? Go on Google and type in Battletoads Limited Edition. NES. You will get this weird company. I think it's called Limited Run Games. I don't know if it's Limited Run, but I think it's some 8-bit old age thing or whatever. And they have a Pimple and a Zitz cartridge color. So it's basically, they took original games with damaged cartridges that they knew they couldn't sell for a good price, and then they had somebody 3D print a couple, like 2,000 fucking cartridges of a different color that were transparent, and they stuck the fucking boards inside those carts, screwed them up, slapped a newly printed label over it, and they called that limited edition. And they're making money on that. Thousands. Hundreds of dollars. Unopened limited edition, this, by this company. You have limited games limited run games. They did 2 games, N64 games, that I was forced to buy for my unofficial collection. And it was the Star Wars series. It was like Star Wars Racer that had like a blue front and a gray back. And then there was Shadow Empire that was like transparent purple that actually looked kind of cool. But I ended up paying fucking $30, $40 for both. Full price. Like back in the day, full price. That's not how the state of gaming should be. You have, and I shit you not, I don't even want to. So, I bought DuckTales on NES. This is the cartridge. The board's missing. I took the board out. So, somewhere online, Google this as well, this one's also funny. Capcom decided to do an ultra limited edition DuckTales NES. To where they only made 150 of them that came with a lunchbox, and it had a gold-plated cartridge with a custom sticker and a back label that's custom with a number on it. And it'll say 1 out of 150 or a number out of 150. So, you have essentially a fucking game. There's only 150 of them made. They were put into lunchboxes with real shredded up dollar bills. Because, I don't know, they were assholes. They wanted to deface money, which technically is against the law in the United States. Technically, it is illegal to deface currency in the United States. And they did that for the promotion. But, they did it for the promotion. So they put shredded money inside the... inside these lunchboxes as, like, packing for the game itself. And there's only 150 of these games that exist. So, are you going to pay thousands of dollars for the same fucking board of the same thing, but instead of it being a gray board with a different label, it's fucking gold with a different label? Same fucking board inside. Same game. It's not different than anything else. And there's only 150 of them, and it's in gold. At that point, you go to a repro, a guy that makes fucking cartridges, and you just make it. What stops you from printing the label and remaking that? Like, realistically. On the back of it, you could just put where it says, 1 out of slash 150, put fuck you slash 1 out of 150. Because who's gonna want to buy this ultra limited fucking press release plastic cart that overall is probably valued at no more than less than the game after you look at all the reproduction costs? That's a joke. That's the state of old school gaming right now. And then you have the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, and then they tried to do the fucking N64 Classic, which I prayed that they didn't, and good God they didn't. Which, alright, fair enough, but then you looked at the consoles, the fucking controllers were too short. People were modding them to play every game. And people were also stepping on them and breaking them at night. I don't know how the fuck they were managing that. But people have ultimately stopped giving a shit about taking care of older video games and tech. And I don't know how they've managed to do that. Because you look at some of the fucking video games you buy, and some of them are yellowed. Okay, like, here's a nice example. This isn't really a video game, but I got this controller right here, and it's dirty as shit. And this is how I got it. But under surface lighting, you can kind of see there's some fading around the buttons and shit. I don't know how hard that would be to see. I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of looks like there's grease on there. That's not grease, that's fading in the fucking plastic. It's not really repairable in any way at all. And the one side's yellowed. And some people, what they do to fix them is they submerge them for 6 hours in hydrogen peroxide to get rid of that. And then they resell it brand new. So they're ultimately just waiting hours and cleaning their fucking games up to make them brand new, and they're reselling them as new or in very good condition, near new, and they're making a profit off of it. Remember when people wouldn't have to pay for a game and the extra $100 DLC and extra content, extra features with the game? When I get to that point, think of it like this, right? I'll leave you with this little tidbit that's gonna blow your brain away. Do you know Sonic 06 had DLC? Oh, and you couldn't buy the base game off the website, off Xbox Live, but it had DLC. It had hard mode DLC. I shit you not. Look at the fuck up. It had hard mode DLC, hard town missions, sets of missions that you could buy, multiple of them, and they were like $5-10 each. And in order to 100% complete the game, you had to beat all the DLC. Yeah, what the fuck is right? To this day, you're not gonna believe this though, but when back on Xbox, I actually bought all the DLC and I beat every single fucking thing. I painstakingly put myself through all of that, and I got S ranks on all of it. I wanted to blow my fucking skull off when I was done. The more you know. The more you fucking know. Okay? That's why I run this fucking podcast. To talk about how fucked up shit is nowadays. Oh my god. But that's not to say that some, not so old games like, I don't know, regular San Andreas ain't too bad. Yeah, sure, it's got some bugs that would be game-breaking, like, for example, no, that's Vice City that I was thinking. If you save your game in the Cherry Popper ice cream truck factory or whatever, your game would be fucked and soft-locked and the next mission wouldn't load or something like that. Older games are capable of being bugged and fucked up, and not all the developers are going to get every play testing done. But again, when you get to the point to where you just stop giving a shit, and you just start fucking up your own game company and what you develop and what you care for, at that point you just stop producing. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's kind of shit. It's really shit. I'm trying to think of the one thing I wanted to say at the end of the stream. So there's games that are free on Steam, but then you pay for on the main website, or a different price on the website. And people recommend that you buy it from not on Steam or sometimes on Steam, and you get the website version because it's more fixed or broken, or vice versa. A very common cause of that is a game called Blockland. And Blockland was supposed to be like this pre-Minecraft-esque type game before Minecraft even happened. A game done good is No Man's Sky. It was bad at the start, but the game bounced back. I was told by a coworker of mine that he loved No Man's Sky, and originally he was pissed off that there was no online. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, there's no online. They promised online, we didn't get it. Apparently people tried to sue for it. I'm like, alright, well, just give them online. Tell them it's going to be delayed, and our reasoning for the delay is it's not fucking possible. And that's it. Just like, yeah, it's not possible right now. We don't have servers that are capable of running everything, and it's a pretty big game, yada, yada, yada. And then, talk about the reasons why speccing it would be hard right now. And then that's it. That's all you'd have to do, is just explain your fuck up. But, I mean, here's another thing. When Far Cry 3 was released, they had a thing called a Ubisoft Game Pass, which allowed you to get a shit ton of XP, early weapons for the story and online mode and everything else. And it was like $70, $80. I bought the game and I only played it for a couple hours, and I bought the pass too. And all my friends bought the online, the full game too. Same thing. But we only played it and we got bored. We fell asleep playing the game because it just felt so generic. It felt like I was playing Dead Island cartoon version. Essentially, Dead Island cartoon version. But pay out the ass to win for ultimately nothing. And when I went to go sell that game with the pass attached to it, unused, guess what? Ubisoft didn't even recognize the Ubisoft employee that I asked to check the fucking account number to, or the ID of the card, couldn't confirm what the card was. I.e., it never existed. So not even Ubisoft knew when they were making that game, did they actually know what the fuck codes were what. They had no idea. Their own fucking development team and the people that were checking their shit could not figure out what a Game Pass was that they had sold for $70, $80 back then. And no one ever mentions that fucking stupid Game Pass. Let me look that up real quick before I go. Far Cry 3 Game Pass. It was a season pass, that's what it was. And for whatever reason, why did we even fucking have one? You know, like... I can't. I really fucking can't. I thought it was a Game Pass, it was a season pass, my bad, but... The season pass, they didn't even know what the fuck they were. And I sold my season pass because I didn't fucking want to play the game anymore because I was bored. And somehow, that game's still going with Season 5. Did I just see that right? The Season 5 pass? Oh no. Why is it still... It's actually continuing even though there's multiple Far Cry games now. Isn't Far Cry 5 out? Isn't Far Cry 4 out? What's... Far Cry 5. I mean, isn't a release date already been announced? Oh, Far Cry 5 has already been out. Is there Far Cry 6 yet? Announced for 2021. So they're trying to push a game 3 games back. What's new season pass? Nope. That's the end of my stream. That's the end of my stream. I can't. I gotta head out because I got work tomorrow morning. But before I head out, there are 3 things. The Far Cry games only got progressively worse, and the more they made the release. The more tribute to the long cat. See you next stream, dude. One more tribute. Moment of silence for the long boy. Peace out, long cat. Alright. I'm out of here. Good night. That was episode 11, The Current State of Gaming, and I am Mary.